I think I've got one more left.
One more, and go on, serve it on a platter.
Right, so last question.
Yep.
This is quite an interesting one, this, because when I read it, it made me think. So this is from Dr. Raul Pacheco Vega.
You've
on
definitely
Twitter.
made a mistake on that.
Nah.
Haven't you know?
Well, Vega and Checo, kind of those words indicated either Latin or Spanish. So
Spanish.
Raul
Not sure that's
Pacheco
how you say
Vega.
Spanish.
Spanish, that's why I say it, Spanish. Spanish.
What's Raul said then? Like,
So he's basically said, why is it so hard for students to develop research questions? So
do you mean to get them heard or to literally
No,
the skills
so
to
like-
develop them?
So why can't they craft a well-designed research question? Why is it difficult for students nowadays? Because I find this difficult to sit down and go, in this area we're missing this, right? How do we craft a really good question that we can then build a project on and build a research, try and get funding and blah blah blah? Like, I'd struggle to do that.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a reason potentially why students nowadays maybe find that a lot more
Yeah,
difficult?
I do.
Go on.
It's harsh though. And like you said, you're bad at it. I don't want to say it because I don't think this is true about you.
About me?
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, there's two things. The first thing is, well, the very reason why they can't do it is because they're not full developed scientists, yeah? That's the first reason. The same reason why Lionel Messi never scored 60 goals when he was 18 is because he wasn't Lionel Messi at 23.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, over time, he developed the skills to do that. But the second thing is, one of the reasons why a lot of PhD students can't design research questions, I'm not saying I can. Out of the projects I've done, I've designed 2.5, and the other 1.5 has sort of been more. They've all been joint, obviously. You don't do anything on your own, but like I come up with my review, I come up with me clustering work. Even though like they knew I wanted to do clustering, I sort of design up the questions. The other ones in the middle, the Delphi and the index, was more given to me, which you've got to do as a PhD. If it's supervisors want to do stuff as well, you've got to do what they want to do. But the reason why the volume of PhD students doesn't correlate with the volume of good research questions is because creativity is not spread equally in people.
I don't think it's to do with creativity.
Of course it is.
I think it's how people are taught nowadays. So, for example, the way we're taught is you're a hammer, go at the nail. Here's questions, fix the questions. Here's the questions, fix the questions. So that's masters and undergrad a lot of the time.
Yeah.
You're not taught to...
Here's the problem, solve the problem. Here's the problem, solve the problem.
You're not taught to... What's the problem?
Which requires
a solution.
Yeah.
But finding a problem is not so much creative.
I don't mean creative in the sense of designing a piece of artwork. I mean, if you look at research and there's obvious gaps, if you're not creative, you can go, there's a gap. But if you're not creative, you don't know what the question is to ask. You can't create the question. You don't know the question you're meant to be asking.
But asking a question can be quite systematic, not creative.
It can be. You can get to it systematically. But like, for example, certain research has been done on this population, and certain's been done on this population. A creative scientist will go, "Oh my god, there's a gap here. No one's thought of it." It might just be luck because you've stumbled across it. But an uncreative mind would get to it and go, "Don't see what else I could do there." Wouldn't develop it further. I think you are right. I agree with you. The nature of the education system is very much is the nail, hammer, is the nail, is your hammer, is the nail, is the hammer. And I think whether it's creativity or whatever you want to call it, we could build on that. Like, well, I think it is creativity, the creative ability to design a research question. But I also think it's just not spread evenly. Some people are really good at one thing and can turn the screw like fuck at that thing, man. It might be physics, it might be. But if you ask them to, now you can, if there's certain people you can go to, like, here's the problem, here's the place where we need to get to. Do you do the work to get to it? And they're like, wow, I can do that because I know where the start and end is. That's very different from saying, I don't know where the start, I don't know where the end is. You find where they are. I think that's when the creative mind comes in, because like, well, I'll have to creatively get to a start and end.
Yeah.
And I just don't think it's spread equally, and I don't think the education system helps develop them skills which could be there in certain people which are never brought out.
Because it's one of them. If you're never shown how to put one together, you're never going to know how to do it.
No, that's what I was saying about.
That's
before.
what I mean. Like, for example, like, yeah, so I suppose that, like, I was thinking of it more differently in terms of actually creating a project.
Yeah.
Which
Creativity.
Well, no, but like put
it's a
together
deviation
a
of the word, brother.
But like, so like, for example, our projects were put together by someone else.
Yeah.
But like my
the title, the project's in mine weren't. The title was there.
But the things you're doing is to solve your project.
Yeah, but the project, there wasn't a clear problem. It was, this area is understudied. We need work in it.
Yeah.
And I designed some of the projects. I created the review. That wasn't a question put to me.
Yeah.
I was told you need to do a review, create a research question.
Yeah, but then that's my point. You were told you needed to do a review.
Yeah, but that's
but so that's what I'm trying to say. Is like, so the students there. So you were shown, right? So when you get a project to properly do this research question, now you start with a review.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, what I think the crux of what we're saying there is like I've put stuff together. Like with the review I did, I figured out what I wanted to get, got all the stuff with the analysis, like to the ECG comparison work I've done. That was work So like after doing the analysis, I figured out there was nothing there. That came from that. But it's knowing
nothing left.
Only from working with Ivan and Sandra would I know that was how to think. But I got that from PhD level, from working with them, whereas I think that should be emphasised earlier.
Well, it depends the question you're asking now, because, yeah, you were told to do a review. I was told to do a review. I wasn't told what to do a review on. So if you've never written a song before, for example, because I know I do work in that world, so it's easy for me to refer to it. Someone says a song has a chorus, a verse, a post-chorus, an outro, for example. They've told you what is in it. A PhD is a review of the literature followed by some projects. So you know what's in it, but the creativity is writing the verse, writing that chorus. No one's told you what it's about. No one's told you what your song's about. So giving them the end point in the song would be, a song has these elements. The outcome is a love song. And the start of it is, we want this character. That's someone creating it for you, and you're filling that creativity for them. The equivalent would be, a review needs doing on this, and we want to find out about this. Go and do it. Now, the creative aspect, I'm not sure if this is what the person meant, but a student, in my eyes, being creative is thinking, what's missing? If you're told to do a review, no one's creating it for you. You're just told, do a review. It's part of your thing. Or write a song. You need a chorus and a verse. But like, the creative aspect is, okay, where's the gaps in the evidence? And as you say, I don't think that we're not all created equally. Some people are more intelligent, some people are more creative, some people are both, some people are tall, whatever. But you can be, I think there is training to be done at an early level. Maybe if there's projects in undergrad level where it's just like, we're all doing a review and the best research question in this area gets a reward.
To be fair though, I think it needs to go before uni.
Or like back at school, you know what I mean though?
Yeah, like I think there needs to be more push to make people think for themselves instead of just is the questions. Yeah. But then this is just like the systematic overhaul of the teaching thing. But yeah, I think more exposure to being able to find where a gap is and solve it.
Yeah.
Is what's needed. Yeah, because my initial thought when I thought about this was actually putting like a research proposal together.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. But then obviously that's not a research question. It's a research proposal.
That's what I mean. It depends what they're asking.
Yeah, so that's what I mean, yeah.
No one put... Is he just looking like, I never get students who propose questions that need answering? It depends what he's asking.
No, I interpret
a proposal is more systematic.
I had that as a proposal, but yeah, a research question.
If they're just looking for questions, it's down to creativity, and it's down to... And I think people can be improved, but as you say, it needs to be pushed back into, it needs to be pushed down the education system, you know what I mean? Yeah. Through uni, through A-level, through school, where there's more onus on the student. There's still going to have to be work what's given to them.
Yeah.
To turn
some
cranks.
Of course, you've got to turn handles.
But there might be elements where it's like, okay, you've learned now how to, fuck knows, I don't know, any topic ever, to do that. Now, creatively think of an application in the real world, and you hypothetically design it. How you'd use that, and that's being creative. That's not a research question, but maybe that be in year 9. Like, where would you use that? And like, you're starting to think, how maybe they do that. I never got taught like that.
Oh, neither did I. It was all just turning the handles.
Yeah, like this. So you do that. Here's a question on it, and there'd be no application. And you'd be like, okay, that's how differentiation works. And you just knew that goes there, answer.
Yeah.
Is that answer right, sir? Yeah, okay, good, move on. But
I think it is.
I've said to you as well, oh, sorry, I'm rambling today. That's the difference as well, but I think between a scientist and a title of someone, like if you saw yourself just like a fucking physician, you're just turning handles for in that role, or like you call yourself a machine learner, I think you'd see yourself more as a scientist in machine learning if you were developing ideas and new models, whereas you're more of a machine learner if you're just turning the handles of those models. One's more creative, one's more turn.
Do you want to see what it is as well? Being inquisitive.
Yeah.
If you ask a question and no one's got the answer, there's probably a research question in there.
Exactly, lads. And when I said before, I don't want to say it's creativity, is I think you're really creative, but you constantly tell yourself you're not creative. But that, I don't know what, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're always saying I'm not very creative, and I think, like, you've just literally come up with an idea in the podcast to do this bit of content or whatever. That's creativity. That's your brain going, I'll do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's a new idea.
Yeah. I think it's the way I think. I always think systematically.
That's fine.
But there's room for creativity. That's what I mean.
And without creativity in science, you wouldn't get the questions.
No, yeah.
You just wouldn't get them. If everyone was dead systematic, they'd just get to the gaps systematically and then they'd ask the most boring question where it takes someone to go, oh my God, we're not looking at this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and the gaps are leading here, but you're trying to get to that gap and ask this question. What about? And then it's like, oh my God, yeah, no one's doing that. No one's asked that. And it's like, wow, that person's impressive. Do you know what I mean? They might not know how to solve it, but they come up with it. You know what I mean?
And then you find the people to help you solve it.
And you're like, I need a data scientist, I need a physician, I need a fucking whatever.
XYZ,
Bob's your uncle,
XYZ.
here's the answer.
Bob's your uncle and Fanny's your aunt.